I'm here today at a bit of a dreary Brighton Park circuit in Lincolnshire to join Honda and Rapid Training for a day of training both on road and on track. The whole idea for this is to give you a flavour of what you can expect if you go on a Rapid Training day. Now this is a media day, so it's going to be slightly truncated and we're doing a few extra little bits and pieces, but hopefully it will give you an idea of what's involved, and I'm looking forward to the day.
So what's the story behind this new partnership? Well, Honda have always put rider safety at the heart of their development. They opened their first safety training centre in the 60s and have continued to grow them over the years so that there is now a total of 51 centres across 43 countries. To explain why this is important, Alberto Cavero, Honda's safety department manager, shared some very sobering statistics. The most telling that was the main cause of traffic accidents for motorcyclists is human error, and the best way to combat that is to train riders to be safer. When it came to establishing a safety training partner for the UK, there was no point in reinventing the wheel, so Honda approached Rapid Training to explore a partnership utilising Rapid's already tried and tested methodology and team of regionally based riding coaches, and the Honda Bespoke course was born. To bolster this relationship, several other partners are supporting. Dunlop provide all of the tyres for Rapid's fleet of NT1100s and Fireblades, and Arai, RST and Zero Fit supply the coach's kit. I'll talk a little bit further about the course costs and what's available, etc. at the end of the video, but let's delve into my experience on the day. As I mentioned in the opening, this was a media day, so only really a taster of the full courses. We had half a day out on the road with 2 riders to 1 coach, followed by several sessions on the track on a 1-to-1 basis. I started on the road and was paired with a fellow content creator you may know, Tomboy a bit. We were introduced to our coach Les, got our comm systems fitted, and after a quick chat to outline the session, we headed out onto the North Lincolnshire roads. The coaching is done in a very friendly and constructive manner. There's no real hard and fast rules. It's all about teaching you the skills to be safer on the road. We followed Les for a while, then took turns riding the lead so that he could assess our riding style, stopping on occasions to talk things through. We spent a lot of time concentrating on observation and road positioning, and it was at that point that I realised how much I'd let this slip. I thought my observation skills were pretty decent, but Les showed in practical terms that it could be much better. So much so that I now spend a little time on every ride doing a commentary in my head, which I find really helps me lift my vision. By the end of the morning, it felt just like 3 mates out for a ride, but all the time we were absorbing vital information. It's a really enjoyable way to learn new skills. You don't feel like you're being lectured or having to cram in loads of information. It just flows easily, and by lunchtime my riding had improved and I felt like I'd learned a lot. I'm definitely going to sort myself out with a full day, and what's nice is Les is one of the Rapid coaches that covers my home area. After a spot of lunch in the excellent facilities at Brighton Park, it was time to head to the track. But this wasn't a track day session in the normal sense. It was an opportunity to learn some machine control skills in a controlled environment.
This is about skills, not speed.
This time we were paired on a 1-to-1 basis, and again after an introduction to Gareth, we had a group safety briefing, then headed to the pit lane. The first session was an easy roll around the track to get your bearings, whilst Gareth pointed out the key marker cones. Initially, all I needed to look out for was the yellow turning point cone and the green apex cone.
Okay, so this is my first little session out on the track. Gareth is pointing out all my markers. So yeah, it's all about picking up your braking point and your apex. So there's my braking point there. I turn in, then I'm looking for my apex there, and then I'm back out again. Obviously on a track compared to what we've learnt on the road, you can use the whole of the road. We know we've got nobody coming the other direction. We've got no other hazards to worry about. So all the time as we're getting used to where we're going, picking up a little bit of speed,
But again, as the guy said, you ride within your limits, you ride where you're comfortable. The idea is not to be going as fast as possible. The idea is to be picking all of the appropriate points on the track.
As this session progressed, the speed slowly picked up, then Gareth moved over for me to lead for the rest of the session so he could observe properly. The 20-minute session came to an end and we decamped back to the cafe for a cuppa, debrief and a look at what the next session would introduce.
Got all the track to play with, so even if they were to have a little wobble mid-corner, then all the rest of the track has opened up. They've got this full field of vision.
Session 2 added in braking points as the speed was picking up nicely. So here's a quick flying lap from my second session just so you can see the layout of the track. Apologies for the sniffing, I didn't realise I was doing that until after I watched the footage back. Again, it's a super relaxed approach. It's about joining observation skills with the bike handling skills. Nothing rushed, you go at your own pace and the coaches are expert at progressing you along. If they feel you can go faster, they'll up the pace. If they feel you need to improve braking or cornering, they'll work on that aspect. You have to concentrate, but it's an incredibly fun and rewarding experience. Getting on track for the first time can be daunting, but I think this is the best way to go about it if you're a newbie. It's all super controlled, and once you start hitting all of your points, it's a really fun track to ride, and when you get things right, it feels awesome. I had a final debrief with Gareth, then it was time to say some thank yous and goodbyes before the long journey back home.
So there you go, that's the end of the day here. Absolutely fantastic. We have combined what essentially are two separate days into one. So you'll normally do one day out on the road, a full day on the road, and then one day fully on the track. So we've kind of combined the two, but hopefully it gives you a flavour for what it's all about. And it's perfect timing because I've done my last track session and it is now starting to rain. So I think that's enough from what is now quite a rainy Lincolnshire. So let's get back into the cave and I can wrap up there for you.
Well, that was an absolutely fantastic day. I thoroughly enjoyed myself and I picked up some skills which I'll continue to work out when out on the road. That's exactly what this relationship is about, instilling behaviours that become part of your everyday riding and make you a safer motorcyclist. Now, earlier on I said I'd talk about the pricing. So the Honda Bespoke Day is itself a one-day road-only based course. As it's on a maximum of 2-to-1 basis, this means that each rider gets their own bespoke training. As we've established, this isn't a one-size-fits-all operation. The cost of the day is £545, but there is a launch offer for new Honda customers who receive a £250 contribution voucher to bring the price down to £295, which I think, given the training that you'll get, is an absolute bargain. If you do do this Honda Bespoke course and you feel like you want to progress this, then obviously through Rapid Training you can book the Bike Master or Road Master courses. I think it's a great initiative, and it's good to see a brand like Honda putting something back into the motorcycling community. I think it shows their commitment to enhancing rider safety. If this has raised any questions, then let me know in the comments section down below. I'll put links and bits and pieces in the description as well. And all that leaves me to say is until next time, thanks for watching, take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.